Summertime in Arkansas means finding that perfect swimming hole, and in the natural state there are plenty of great ones. We managed to narrow it down to about 12. Now I know we'll probably be leaving out some of your favorites, but that's okay. We'll just include them in the next show. These are a few of my favorites, swimming holes I have known and loved throughout the many years of exploring Arkansas. The Falling Waterfall swimming area near Ben Hur in the Ozark National Forest has been rated by swimming hole enthusiasts as one of the best, if not the best, in the entire Ozark region. To get to Falling Waterfalls from Pelser along Highway 7, take Highway 16 for 9.8 miles past Ben Hur, then turn onto Forest Road 1205, also County Road 68, at the Falling Waterfalls Horse Camp sign. Go 2.3 miles and Falling Waterfalls will be off to your right. This really is the perfect swimming hole because it offers all the aspects of the ideal swimming hole, not to mention the obvious attempts throughout the years of tweaking and retying the rope swing, and kind of looks like it needs to be retied again. During our shoot, the Rhodes family from California, who were visiting other members of their family, couldn't say enough about this classic Arkansas swimming hole.
I think the swimming hole is amazing. The water's so clean. In California, the water's not as clean. I also like that there's not any graffiti. There's no trash, no beer cans. It's a genuine, when you think of a swimming hole, when you dream of a swimming hole, this is what you would dream of, definitely. And it's everything you could wish for. It's waterfalls, it's clear blue water, no trash, no graffiti. It's pretty private. There's a creek. There's sun, butterflies, it's really great. I like it.
All right, on a scale of 1 to 10.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it's a 10.
Wow.
I don't think, I've been to a decent amount of swimming holes and none of them are this clean or pretty. It's definitely nature.
I've been to Yosemite and a lot of cool places, but this one, really top of my list.
Wow.
Yes. Done a lot of hot swimming holes with waterfalls as well. Not this one, definitely one of the top ones.
What do you like about it?
I definitely like the fact that it's got the waterfall over, and you can go underneath the waterfall behind on the cave, and you can actually stand behind it. So that right there, it's amazing.
This swimming hole is awesome. Aside from all the other places that we've been to here in Arkansas, this is the best.
I like how the water's so cool and how it's like always flowing and stuff, but it's not really flowing in August. I like it because my dad likes it.
Oh, well, there you go.
I lived in California for quite a few years and went to the high Sierras and Big Sur along the coast, and there are just numerous picture spots there that you want to jump off the water into. But this place compared to those by far it's just wonderful. I mean, I can't tell that I'm not in the Sierras in California. It's that good. It's just a great spot.
Well, there you go. Arkansas, the natural state.
Yes, sir. I tell you, when I found this spot, I go, oh my God, I missed the West so much, but I've got this spot now. and I can be there anytime by coming here.
Well, so far, the Falling Waterfall swimming hole has been ranked #1 with everyone except for Michael Rhodes.
I think that it's really clear. And it's #2 on my top swimming list.
Ah, #2. What's #1?
Steel Creek.
Steel Creek. That's a good area too, yeah, on the Buffalo River. We might add that Falling Waterfalls is also popular with kayakers when the water is really up, with the thrill of going over them. Yeah, but that's for another segment. A majority of the swimming hole locations that we get come from a book entitled Swimmin' Holes in the Ozarks. Well, there's one that they missed, Rosa Hole on Sylamore Creek in Mountain View. To get to this swimming hole from Allison, north of Mountain View, take Highway 14 north just past the Sylamore Creek Bridge, then turn right onto a dirt road. After a mile or so, there will be a parking area on the right, which is the Allison trailhead to the North Sylamore Creek Trail. Just follow the trail down to the creek and the swimming hole will be off to your right. Don't tell anyone, though, we gave you these directions because the locals, I think, kind of wanted to keep this place their own little secret. And we can understand why.
And I've been coming down here, enjoying the creek, floating Sylamore and hiking and enjoying. This is really the closest swimming hole around, so we have a lot of fun down here.
What did you first think about going off that rope?
The first time I went off, I was just thinking about holding on pretty good. I know I've done a few that are bigger than this one, but this one drops off pretty good. And as you can see, the water's down a little bit, so you just have to hit the hole just right, you know? But it's a lot of fun.
So my first time going off the rope swing, I couldn't do it. Like, I was up there for about maybe 45 minutes. Just, I sat down. I was like, no, I'm not gonna go off. It's too scary. And then I finally just bucked up and just went off. I think it's a very short-lived thrill, but still it gets that adrenaline going, especially when it's really flooded. A few weeks ago, it was about maybe 8 feet deep. And so when he went off, you didn't touch anything. So I just remember wanting to hold on for dear life because I didn't want to slam into the rocks.
First time I came down here, I'm probably too young to remember it. My parents have been coming down here for a long time. It's probably 1 or 2, real little kid. And the first time that I tried the rope, it was after the winter. Somebody had put it down here. It was like in spring, and I thought it was pretty fun.
I noticed there's the lower level and then the upper level. Now, going off the upper level can become quite adventuresome.
Right, it's like the rite of passage, I guess.
And so, time for my rite of passage, my initiation to Rosa Hole.
Country boy can't survive!
Pristine, picturesque beauty here in the Ouachita National Forest at Jack Creek, south of Boonville. If it's solitude and peace and quiet you're after, it's all here. To get to the Jack Creek Recreation Area, take Highway 23 south from Boonville for 2 miles, and then Highway 116 for 6 miles. Then finally, Forest Road 141 for 1 mile. Scenic overlooks and rugged rock bluffs is what this area is known for, with the natural pool being the highlight. The combination of all the above makes for the next best thing to Acapulco-type cliff diving, Arkansas style. As the signs warn, though, extreme caution is urged. Diving from too high of a level is not recommended, and always dive feet first. And if you'd like to try your skill at something else here at Jack Creek, something that's a little bit safer, there is a horseshoe pit. If horseshoes aren't your thing, the creek is full of smallmouth bass and perch, so don't forget to bring your fishing pole. The Jack Creek Recreation Area has been enjoyed by many a folk for many a year, such as Joyce Franklin, who remembers coming here during her early teen years.
When we first come down here, my parents, my mom's family used to come down here for a family gathering up here in this pavilion up here. And we'd all get down here, and I mean, there'd be a whole slew of us. And we'd all get in this water, and it was way on up here compared to where it is now. But we'd all get on in our tubes, float around, and if your feet didn't touch the ground, you were in trouble.
So some good times here.
Yeah, we did have good time. I enjoyed it, because we lived in Sugar Grove and then come up here.
I guess 4th of July picnics were popular here.
They were.
The best way to see what the Jack Creek area has to offer is to take the half-mile Scenic Loop Trail. This trail will lead you up and over the rock bluffs and to the scenic overlooks we mentioned earlier. So, from hiking to swimming to pitching horseshoes, or if only to catch a few fish for the frying pan, the Jack Creek Recreation Area in the Ouachita National Forest comes highly recommended for your Exploring Arkansas destination. The Ozark Campground Swimming Hole along the Buffalo National River, like many deep pools along the river, is perfect for swimming, floating, or jumping off the bluffs. Getting to the Ozark Campground Swimming Hole is fairly easy. If you're coming from Jasper, head north on Highway 7 for 2.8 miles, and at the small Ozark Campground sign, turn left and go 1.4 miles to the campground and swimming hole parking by the river. Any swimming hole where you have bluffs in which you can climb up on and then use as a high dive makes it even more fun. Just make sure that the water is deep enough for diving.
It's just fun to jump off the cliffs and look at all the rocks. There's a lot of arrows and cool rocks around here. And it's just really fun because there's the rapids and all that kind of stuff. And I like building stuff with the rocks. That's one of my favorite things to do. I like climbing around on the rocks and collecting rocks from the bottom. That is fun. And it's just so much fun. I only come down here about once a year, but when I do, it's just really fun. And I love it.
Beats a swimming pool, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It definitely beats a swimming pool. I go to swimming pools, they're fun, but nothing like this. Yeah, it's just, there's a bunch, the woods and all that. I like looking at the prints and everything. It's just so much fun.
You ever thought about working for the Arkansas Parks and Tourism Department?
Yeah, maybe. That'd be fun because, you know, you could explore everything. And exploring all the caves and all kinds of stuff. There's so much to do here, so much I haven't even done. Yeah, it's just amazing.
Lilith, my goodness, you've been snorkeling over here and look what you got.
Yeah.
You got a little friend there.
Kind of scratchy.
It's amazing what you can find snorkeling in the Buffalo, huh?
Yeah.
That is something else.
Kind of scared me when it started hissing at me, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't look like it, you know, might be too happy. You're going to let it go, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just catch them for the fun of it.
Okay. I was hoping you weren't going to have turtle soup.
No, I don't usually eat turtles. I never tried them before, so I don't plan on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm used to catching turtles a lot.
Yeah?
Because we go swimming sometimes. Usually find turtles and like to catch them and then let them go after a while. So, yeah.
Well, Animal Planet has their turtle man, and we have our turtle girl. Lilith, by the way, plans on becoming a wildlife biologist someday. We do believe she's well on her way. If you do come here, remember to bring a fishing pole, because as you're cooling off, you can be fishing for some smallmouth bass as well. And before we leave the Ozark Campground Swimming Hole, we have to show you a hard-working sand wasp, relentlessly digging its way to China.
Welcome to the Arkansas PBS studios. I'm Karen Cooper here with Julie Thomas and the legend Chuck Dovish. But before we hear from the two of them, I want to just remind you that we come to you like this to ask for your support, because your financial support is how we can keep these type of programs on the air. And the easiest way that you can do that is by choosing to become a monthly sustainer. You choose the amount, you set it up, and it just continues on. And we also have some absolutely wonderful thank you gifts that go along with Exploring Arkansas. So right off the top, for your gift of $60 or being a sustainer at $5 a month, we have the DVD of the program that you're watching right now, so you can find all those great swimming holes in Arkansas. Or if you'd like to have the Exploring Arkansas cooling towel, that's available for your gift of $72, or a sustaining gift of $6 a month ongoing. Or how about an Exploring Arkansas cap that's hand autographed by Chuck himself? That's available for your gift of $84, or a sustaining gift of $7 a month. Look, we have all sorts of things available. We have this wonderful Arkansas State Parks book. It's absolutely gorgeous, wonderful pictures, great talks about the different state parks. That's available for your gift of $180 or $15 a month ongoing as a sustainer. We also have the Exploring Arkansas 8 DVD set. That's all these wonderful programs that Chuck has put together for your gift of $252, or going ahead and being an ongoing monthly sustainer at $21 a month. Or how about all of the above? That can be yours for a sustaining gift of $42 a month, or a one-time gift of $504. And now, along with any one of those gifts, we also have a little guidebook that's related to the swimming holes of Arkansas. It will show you kind of maps and how to get to each one of those 12 that Chuck has explored. So you don't want to miss out on that. Plus, at any of those gift levels, you'll also have access to Arkansas PBS Passport, which provides over 1,000 hours of programming that you can enjoy anytime that you want on any particular device that you want to watch it on. So that includes Exploring Arkansas and about 400 other locally produced programs. So give us a call at 1-800-662-2386. You can go online at myarkansaspbs.org, but I know you're waiting for me to stop, so we're going to go over and let Julie and Chuck take it away.
So here we are with this crazy looking guy over here. I love it.
Well, this is the way people ask me, well, how do you get those great underwater shots for these swimming holes? Well, this is the way we get it. With the face mask and little camera, underwater type camera on top, and well, you know, that's the way we go through the waters, and that's the way we get it. Some of the tricks of the trade there. So this is a pretty good. The octo mask is what that is. So appropriate name. You know, you talk about swimming holes. You know, the fascination. People ask me, you know, well, what exactly is your big fascination with swimming holes? Well, I mean, the obvious, you know, the euphoria of going off the rope swing, flying through the air, and plopping down into the cool stream, you know, whether it be on the Buffalo River or any of our fantastic streams in the Ozarks and the Ouachitas, and that's the euphoria that, you know, people, why they enjoy swimming holes. So the natural state has plenty of them.
So what do you think makes a good swimming hole?
Well, there's a couple. You know, it's simple. You got to have a rope swing.
Yeah.
A good swimming hole has a rope swing. Now, as you saw earlier in Falling Water Falls, not only does a rope swing play into this, but a waterfall. So if you have a swimming hole with a waterfall, a rope swing, you know, some big boulders, you know, to lay out and sun on, you know, sunbathe. That is the ideal. Like one of the people there said, when you dream of the perfect swimming hole, you dream of, you know, with a rope swing, a waterfall, you know, perfect setting like that.
What kind of safety? I don't want to, you know, totally ruin the experience,
yes,
but what about safety?
Especially, you know, when you're diving off of a bluff or a cliff. First of all, before you even climb up to that level on the bluff, get in the water and make sure that water is above your head, way above your head. And the second thing is you don't dive head first, of course. You dive feet first. And it just, you just got to use common sense, and and you'll be fine.
Nice. Just find yourself a good swimming hole and enjoy that. Also brings back memories of when you were a child, I imagine.
Yes.
It's a way to kind of feel young and get that feeling back, and maybe take your family now.
Well, when you look at the history of swimming holes, see, before there were swimming pools, before there were water theme parks, that's all people had was swimming holes out in the country. And it was just it was a perfect place for the family to get together for family reunions. There were baptismals they've had. I mean, there's all sorts of things that they had back in the day. It was a focal gathering place for the family. They would picnic. They would have all day singing there, playing horseshoes. The good old days.
The good old days. I love it. So talk to us a little bit about what's coming up next. What are we going to see in the next segment?
There's a couple of select swimming holes that you can go snorkeling in. Now, it's not exactly like the coral reefs of the Caribbean, but there's a couple of places where you can actually see some really cool rock reefs. And in the Cossatot River, of all places, that's a raging river in the spring and the summertime. It's perfect for snorkeling, as you'll see coming up in this next program segment. Your snorkeling adventure begins with the Cossatot River State Park Natural Area located in southwest Arkansas off Highway 278 east of Wicks. Here, one of the park interpreters will outfit you with snorkeling equipment and some basic instruction.
Like that? Yep, and then put your face in the water to make sure it doesn't leak, and you can breathe, and then roll out on your tummy and head out. Well, first off, they get to actually see underwater and breathe and go along and see all the different geological rock structures, and some of them are pretty cool. You have washed out seats, or there might be a little opening like a cave.
And there's 5 different access points along the river actually here that you take them to.
Yes, sir, I take them to Sandbar, which is about a mile from the falls, and then here, the low water bridge, sometimes Ed Banks, and then 246, the day use only area. So,
now, they can see what sort of fish usually?
well, we have a lot of red horse or suckerfish, and bass, small, large, rock bass, catfish, gar, your sun perch, and log perch, and zebra. Well, that's part of the log perch, but
and there are a couple of unique ones.
Yes, the mountain shiner is all through the river.
The Ouachita Mountain Shiner, it's called.
Yes, and then the leopard darter, which is probably 2 miles below the falls. You start seeing them there, but they're more at the low water bridge area and on down. They have to have a special habitat, so they're pretty cool. They're about 3 inches long.
It's kind of neat, especially like on this outing, this particular day, all the kids, the first time snorkeling experience, it's an adventure.
Yes, it is, especially to tell them that they can breathe underwater, and they're looking at me like, no, I can't. And you're like, yeah, you can, just listen and try what I say. And then they do, and then they're all excited, and then I get excited. Of course, I end up popping my head up to count heads so I don't lose anybody, make sure they're okay, but yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, we just call them off.
It was fun.
Was it all that you expected it would be, or even more?
Even more.
Well, what's the neat part about it? You know, tell us about kind of what's so cool about it.
You actually have a chance to breathe through your mouth. The masks are on you and you can actually see under the water. You can do that now anyway, but still.
It helps with the mask instead of just trying to open your, just your eyes.
Yeah.
Well, what did you see? Some fish?
I've seen some fish. I've seen how the rocks look like they were formed just for you to sit down on. Seen some really cool rocks.
I thought it was a pretty good experience because I've never got to see the water like that. I think that I'm gonna go and buy me one.
Really?
And, yeah, and start looking around because I thought that was pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. It gives you a whole different perspective of what's underneath.
I've never seen it like that. I've been in the water my whole life, and I've always just seen it blurry when I went under. And it's just pretty cool seeing it clear for once. And then being able to breathe and being able to keep going, keep watching it, that was pretty cool too.
Opens up a whole different world.
Yeah, it does. I seen a whole bunch of fish under there. I got to see them eat, and it was
pretty cool.
I liked it.
The snorkeling experience here is unique because of the diversity, both below and above water.
Yes, it's its own little river corridor, and in each access points, it's something different. The rocks are different a little bit, just the way they're positioned, and just different things to explore. I mean, I keep finding new things every time I go to different sections.
Along with snorkeling, park interpreters offer many other activities along the Cossatot.
We can schedule a day just for them and their group, and we can go snorkeling, hiking, depending on what time of year, kayaking. My kayak instructor for level 1, so I can teach them the basics and get them into that. And most everything's free except for the kayaking. If we do Dutch oven cooking workshops, then there may be a small fee there, but if they call us ahead of time and we can schedule it, then we're pretty much their guide for the day. And we can do all kinds of things, and with little kids we got crafts, and you can handle snakes and turtles, and I mean there's just all kinds of things. So I mean it just, if you call and get a feel of what you're looking for, what your interests are in, then I can suggest more programs and activities. We have quite a few, but I can't remember them all.
And what's the website?
So, website is www.arkansasstateparks.com, and then you can go to Park Finder and hit Cossatot River State Park and go to our site and check it out.
You know, for those of us who don't have the luxury of going to the Caribbean and snorkeling by a coral reef, well, the next best thing is taking one of the snorkeling outings in the summertime here at DeGray Lake Resort State Park near Arkadelphia. You get a mask and a snorkel, and after you put the snorkel in your mouth, of course, it's yours to keep. Minimum snorkeling age is 8, and reservations can be made at the marina, where a park interpreter will first prep you and fill you in as far as what to expect.
From 2 feet of water to 180 feet of water. We're going out to an island, and we'll park on one side of the island, and we'll make our way slowly around the island. One side of the island is quite shallow and sandy, and the other side of the island is where the old river channel used to run, and it's extremely deep. And there's a rock wall, a bluff that goes down the whole way. So we'll do the shallow water snorkeling first so that we're all feeling comfortable, and then we'll move on around the island to the deep side, and we'll snorkel along that rock wall and see what we can see.
After about a 20-minute or so boat ride, you'll finally approach your snorkeling adventure aisle. Following a few last-minute adjustments and fittings, time to dive into the fun.
And he's good at his stories. I mean, I don't believe that. All right.
Dive, dive.
Now, of course, there aren't any coral reefs at DeGray Lake, but you do have these rock ledges that if the water is not too murky, you can actually go down a few feet, and it's kind of pretty interesting underneath the water, the formation.
But your snorkeling aisle adventure is also a whole lot more than just the snorkeling. Your park interpreter guide will also enlighten you on DeGray Lake itself and the Ouachita Mountains where it's situated. And any questions are welcome.
This is sandstone, right? Just because it has a ring around.
Oh yeah, that's sandstone. That's actually where the lake gets its name. These are the Ouachita Mountains, which are mostly made of sandstone and chert. And the word DeGray in French, I'm sure we all have our translation dictionaries in our pocket there. De means from or of, gray means sandstone. Force yourself forward. You gotta wait to kick with your legs until your body's oriented like this.
And how did the Ouachita Mountains come here?
When the South American continent smashed into the North American continent along what's now the Gulf Coast over 65 million years ago, it caused tectonic activity, kind of like when you have a tablecloth and you squeeze both sides, you get a bunch of ripples and folds. Those ripples and folds are now the Ouachita Mountains. They originally ran so far east that they connected with the Appalachian Mountains, and the original Ouachita Mountain peaks stood higher than the highest mountains do today in the Rocky Mountains. But they're so old that time wore them down to the more modest mountains that we see today.
What'd you think of the snorkeling today?
I thought it was excellent. I tell you what, we're so impressed with Arkansas's park systems. You know, we're from Texas, and we have parks, but y'all's are just pristine, and we're just so impressed with this park because of it's like it looked 30 years ago.
Yes.
The trees and the water, it's just like it looked 30 years ago.
They've done a wonderful job of conservation, just excellent. And like Fred said, we came 30 years ago, then 20 years ago, and then now. And the golf course is just in excellent condition. We played golf this morning. So it's just a wonderful place to come visit. We can't wait to come back.
And you say it looks the same, and it's a lot of it has to do with, you know, folks like you and others that, you know, whether they're in state or out of state, that come here, they appreciate what is here, and they take care of it. They make sure that there's no trash left, or no, you know, it's the conservation of the whole area.
And it really shows. It shows that people have some pride in this park. Now, we haven't been to the other parks, but this is the one that we've come to.
And we understand that there's 51 others, so we hope to.
One of these days.
There's a really nice gem of a swimming hole located in the town of West Fork, situated on the West Fork of the White River south of Fayetteville. Here you can swim and fish until your heart's content. Riverside Park is the actual name of this elite swimming hole in West Fork. And I say elite considering what all this place has to offer. I mean, first of all, the bluff line extends for almost a quarter of a mile down this river. And that means plenty of space for everyone. For kids, diving off the bluffs is the main attraction here, although it's advised not to do so. But you know, kids will be kids. So checking to see if the water depth is safe enough would be a smart thing to do. A swimming hole with a rope swing is always a plus. And this one has not just a rope swing, but one with a handle on it. Now I mentioned the fishing here. If you go down below the spillway, away from all the hoopla, your chances are pretty good of catching a few smallmouth bass. This swimming hole has always been popular with the locals, even back when it was just the river and the bluffs.
Well, it was not nearly as advanced as it is now. The development hadn't really started in this park. It was just mainly river and bridge. And then they began building the sidewalks, the pavilion to lunch under, and the play areas. They cleaned it up and have mowed and planted gorgeous plants and flowers, trees. They've enlarged the walking area now. There's been a lot more participation from the community, which has been a really nice thing for them. The teenagers and families love to come here in the summertime, sometimes even before it's really warm enough. They're here when it's chilly and swim. It's a nice shallow area of the river, and they all enjoy it. My grandchildren have really enjoyed when they were small, playing on the play equipment and running and playing football and so forth in the grassy areas. I enjoy early morning walks year-round.
It's hard to beat a river swimming hole.
Yes, I was raised on the Red River, but that's too much of a raging river to enjoy or call a swimming hole. This has a rocky bottom, and there's a small dam just down the way here that makes this area widen, and it's nice, clean mountain water.
And that's what I'm talking about. Nice, clean mountain water. Sure beats a cement pond any old day. The Long Pool Campground and Recreation Area in the Ozark National Forest north of Russellville near Dover is one of those places that's popular the whole year round. During the summertime, huge boulders serving as diving platforms and the cool water of Big Piney Creek make for a perfect swimming hole.
I like to jump off the rock over there because it's deep enough, you won't hit anything. You can just swim around and not...
Just enjoy. Yeah, the gnats are no extra charge.
You can just swim around and not even jump off the rock if you're scared. It's not that high. The climb, it's kind of hard, but there's like these little step things that you can step on and get up. And there's this rapid thing over there, and it's like a rapid flowing stream, and like you can just, like it will pull you, but you can grab onto rocks. That's what me and him were doing earlier, and it's just really fun to swim here.
We're about 5 or 6 times a year we're here. My kids love to jump off the rock and everything, come out here to swim. The water's always clean and pretty. It's nice and cool. It's a good place to swim. The water's deep enough for you. You can wade if you want to. There's little rapids over here that don't get out of hand, so you can walk around in those, and my kids just love it. It's mainly for them. I kind of just get out there a little bit, you know. It's deep enough, that rock is got deep enough water off of it that they can jump off there safely, and there's no problem.
And past the rapids over there, this is where you can actually fish. They don't allow any fishing over here by the swimming area.
Yeah, there's some signs and stuff when you come in that won't allow you to fish. No alcohol, things like that. I like that too. Keeps everything settled down for my kids while they're here.
Since Long Pool is also one of the main float access points for Big Piney Creek, if the water is up, kayakers and canoeists also make their way through the swimming hole area. As we mentioned earlier, downstream from the swimming area, past the rapids, is where you can throw a line in and do a little fishing.
Long Pool's a place we went to, started years ago. We like to go to Mount Nebo. And there's no water at Mount Nebo. In summertime, you like water, so we looked for areas with natural swimming holes, and somebody told us about Long Pool probably 8 years ago. We've been back 4 or 5 times and really, really like it. It's really pretty. It's a great place to jump off the rocks. And my son talks about it. Galen talks about it all the time, wanting to come back. Right, Galen? He came a long way, and he's always talked about us getting back here. Lexi, why do you like it?
I like jumping off rocks and cliff jumping, and I just like roller coasters and stuff like that.
So you're the high adventure one.
Yeah.
The daredevil one.
Uh-huh.
Welcome back to the Arkansas PBS studios. I'm Karen Cooper here with Julie Thomas and Chuck Dovish. And listening to that last segment in the watering holes and seeing this whole program, I'm actually very jealous. Didn't have that where I grew up. When I first moved to Arkansas, I was totally amazed at all the things that Arkansans kind of had kept as a secret here in Arkansas. All the beautiful mountains and the lakes and the scenery. It's such a beautiful state, and a lot of people in other parts of the country don't realize that. And now you have Chuck doing all of this great exploring and sharing all of these wonderful other secrets that no one else knows about. Y'all are lucky here in Arkansas, let me tell you. So you help make programs like Exploring Arkansas possible. So I hope you'll call in, let us know how much you're enjoying the program, and then while you're on the phone with the volunteer, won't you please make your pledge of financial support so we can keep programs like this going on. We have wonderful thank you gifts around Exploring Arkansas. If you can do a gift of $60 or do a sustaining gift of $5 a month ongoing, we have the DVD of this program about Arkansas's swimming holes available as as your thank you gift. For a gift of $72 or doing a sustaining gift of $6 a month, we have the Exploring Arkansas cooling towel. So if you like to be outside, if you're a runner or whatever, this is a great thing to have. Get it damp, give it a little pull around your neck. It's wonderful. For your gift of $84 or being a sustainer at $7 a month, we have the Exploring Arkansas cap, which is hand autographed by Chuck himself. We also have then an Arkansas State Parks book, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's a great book to look through. The photographs are amazing and little information about the state parks. That's available for your gift of $180 or choosing to be a sustainer at $15 a month. Then we have the Exploring Arkansas 8 DVD set. So you've got a great selection of some of the best of what Chuck has put together for Exploring Arkansas. That is for your gift of $252 or being an ongoing monthly sustainer at $21 a month. And if you just can't decide because you love all things Chuck and Exploring Arkansas, you can get all of the above for a gift of $504 or becoming a sustainer at $42 a month ongoing. And of course, being a sustainer is one of the easiest ways that you can do that. It benefits both you and Arkansas PBS. And along with each of these gifts, you'll get a little guidebook, a little map to all 12 of these wonderful swimming holes that Chuck has found. So easiest way to do that is by giving us a call, choosing to be a sustainer, and we're going over to Julie and Chuck.
Thanks, Karen. So talk to us about some other places to go snorkeling that you like.
Yes, the other two that are really good is Lake Ouachita State Park, and as at DeGray, they will take you out on a party barge. They'll kind of give you instructions, you know, like you saw there in the DeGray Lake piece. And you go out on one of the islands. Lake Ouachita also has plenty of islands. You know, it's the largest lake in the state. So they'll take you out, and you go out on, you know, they'll provide a mask and a snorkel for you. And it's in Bull Shoals Lake State Park up in the northern part of the state. They offered the same thing. So more and more state parks are offering this that are, you know, by bodies of water. And it's a fantastic experience, you know, especially for little kids that have never ever snorkeled, and to actually go, you know, when you tell them that they can breathe underwater, you know, actually no, I can't breathe underwater, and it's but the thing that strikes me about the Cossatot River, see, a lot of people don't even realize or fathom that you can go snorkeling on the Cossatot River, because like I said, you know, it's in the springtime, it's a raging Class 4, Class 5 rapid river, you know, popular with whitewater kayakers. But in the spring, I mean in the summertime, it's a peaceful, serene, I mean beautiful, really peaceful stream, and those deep pools of water where these rock ledges are, and it's just a pristine place to go snorkeling that you wouldn't think you could.
No, I would have never thought that in a million years. So do you need your own snorkeling gear, or can you get your gear from these outfitters?
You can use your own, if you have snorkeling gear, yes, you can use your own face mask and snorkel. But like I said, the state park does provide that too. And you just have to get on with them ahead of time and set up, you know, a time when they snorkel, because it is, of course, seasonal. So I think the cutoff is, I believe, end of September for most of them, something like that.
Gotcha. So if I'm a first-time visitor to one of these swimming holes, or if I want to go snorkel or go on a rope or dive off a cliff, what are some of the things that you recommend taking with us? Like, what do I wear? Do I wear water shoes? What do I take with me?
Yes, water shoes, especially because some of these, you know, river bottom, stream bottom, some of them do have, you know, kind of sharp rocks, and you can kind of, you know, even, you know, hurt your foot, your sole pretty good. So water shoes are excellent to wear. And for little kids especially that really can't swim, you know, especially when you're diving and it's over your head, it's a good idea to have a life vest on for them too. You know, especially if they're not, you know, good swimmers.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. I think we're going to go back to Karen now and hear about some more great thank you gifts.
You know, most of us have been watching more TV than we ever have before under the circumstances. And I don't know about you, but when you at least tune into Arkansas PBS, you're learning something and you're enriching your lives, and you're not just occupying your time. Now, if you're like me, I do watch other things. I watch Arkansas PBS, but there are other things on, but I tend to refer to those other things as, forgive me, stupid TV. It's kind of when you want to be a little mind numb. We all get to that place. But if you want to wind up watching something that, you know, makes you feel better, that makes you more engaged and not just kind of passing away and realizing that several hours have gone by and who knows what's happened. That's what Arkansas PBS can provide to you, is that place where you can go and you can be more engaged with what's going on. I mean, look at Exploring Arkansas. I mean, who would have thought that over the years that Chuck could have found more and more places that we didn't know about here in Arkansas to go and enjoy. So that's one of the great things about what we produce here locally, and then also the PBS programs and other special purchase programs that we bring to you are all there to make sure that you have something worthwhile to watch. And how that happens? You call in at 1-800-662-2386 and make your pledge of financial support. Back to you, Julie.
So we've seen a lot of great places to go swim and cliff dive and snorkel. So what are we going to see next? Can you tell us?
Yes, coming up, we're going back to one of those fantastic National Forest recreation areas. And Gunner Pool and the Barkshed Recreation Area, it's north of the great town of 56.
Uh-huh.
And two wonderful, beautiful places to camp, beautiful places to swim. And then Shine Eye Swimming Hole on the middle section of the Buffalo River, just past the Highway 65 bridge. And then we go to Blanchard Springs, not Blanchard Springs Caverns, but Blanchard Springs Recreation Area, where there's not one, there's two swimming holes. So if one's crowded, you can always go up the road to the next one. And then we're going to close it out with one of a really pristine early Americana settings, the Silver Bridge Swimming Hole. It's on the Mulberry River, north of the town of Mulberry, just north of I-40. So that's coming up. North Sylamore Creek, which flows along northwest of Mountain View in the Ozark National Forest. This is one of those picture postcard perfect Ozark settings. We're here at the Gunner Pool Recreation Area, which is located north of the town of 56 along Gunner Pool Road. This really is an ideal setting to get away from it all with minimal crowds, unlike often at times what you may encounter at many of the state parks, especially in the summertime. Located within the heart of the Ozarks, North Sylamore Creek is a federally designated wild and scenic river. If you like a little elbow room while camping, then this is the ideal location. There are 27 campsites situated between Gunner Pool itself and the North Sylamore Creek swimming area. And whichever site you choose to take a dip in, you can't go wrong. The creek setting offers high, picturesque bluffs that add to your swimming hole pleasure. But it's not just the swimming. Kids also enjoy exploring all along the base of the bluff line. Probably, though, the least crowded area for swimming is Gunner Pool. Come here during the week, and you can even enjoy a rope swing all to yourself. A short path at the other end will lead you down to the spillway. But if you still want more elbow room and even fewer people, there's Barkshed camping area up the creek from Gunner Pool by way of the North Sillamore Creek Trail access. Or you can just drive the 6 miles or so to get there. At Barkshed, we're talking really primitive camping away from it all. There are only a handful of camping sites available here, 1 separate family unit and 4 that are together nearby a shelter, which I'd say would make the perfect spot for a small family reunion. And here as well, North Sillamore Creek offers places to go and cool off. So whether you choose the Gunner Pool Recreation Area or Barkshed, you'll enjoy a wilderness camping experience the way it was meant to be, away from everybody and everything. Really and truly getting back to nature and rejuvenating oneself. We found a really neat swimming hole for y'all on the Buffalo National River of all places. Here you can not only take a dip, you can go kayaking, you can go canoeing, smallmouth bass fishing, anything. That's what I'm talking about. It's called Shine Eye, and getting to this swimming hole is real easy. If you're going north on Highway 65, right after you cross the river, turn right onto Shine Eye Road, and after 9/10 of a mile, you'll come to the parking area. From there, you'll spot the short trail that goes down a hill and to the river. Shine Eye is also popular with floaters who want to stop, take a break, go swimming, or do a little fishing. Because this swimming hole is not publicized, it's more popular with the locals than with the tourists. So, between you and me, let's just keep it a secret.
I lived in Arkansas for the past 8 years. Me and my husband used to come canoe down here in high school. Canoe from here all the way down, and then the girls, now that I got my girls, I bring them down here to let them swim, have a good time. We usually try to come down here about once a week. And then if we're not here, we're at Margaret White or Tyler Bend too. But yeah, the water's great, the scenery's awesome. You see a bald eagle holding a fish. You don't hardly see that anywhere else but here, so.
There you go. You're carrying on the tradition.
Right, right. Let them grow up on the river.
It's fun. You get to play.
That's right. You get to play like right here on, what is this, alligator? Is this an alligator or a turtle? What is this?
Alligator.
Alligator. Oh, okay. I see his head now. We got to fix his head up, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It popped, you said. Oh, we'll have to fix that and then throw you back out in the water, okay?
We come out here and we make a little spot in the water with rocks, and then we will catch minnows and stick them in there. And then before we leave, we'll put them back in, out in the water, and then I usually swim underwater and find shells and stuff to make a sand castle.
This is, I guess, probably like the next best thing to being out on a beach, huh?
Yep. Lots of sand
Yeah.
would be good enough.
A lot of times me and Sherry will catch minnows or crawdads, and we'll build little castles, or they've got this big cliff, I think, somewhere over there that you can jump off of, but sometimes it's kind of dangerous, so I've only gotten on the low part and done it. A lot of time whenever the current's down, you can walk straight across there. It's really cool.
You can walk across? Really?
Just walk.
Oh.
I usually come here a lot because it's always warm. A lot warmer than Tyler Bend, I think. So.
And the water is always cool, isn't it?
And clear. And a lot of times whenever you can walk straight across it, it's more like dark, and the clear is only around the top part of the river. So.
This is like a outdoor classroom for you.
Oh yeah. Yes.
The Blanchard Springs Recreation Area north of Mountain View is one of those places I like to come back to time and time again, because here you have not one, but two fantastic swimming holes. So if the first one gets a little bit too crowded, you can always go up the road to the other one. Both the lower and upper Blanchard Springs swimming holes are located past the road entrance to Blanchard Springs Caverns. Just follow the paved road until you get to North Sylamore Creek and cross the bridge to your right into the parking area for the first hole. At this lower swimming hole area, you can explore Sylamore Creek itself, build yourself a rock dam, or just chill in the cool, clear, refreshing creek water.
Hey, it's a great time for us and the children. You know, they get away, they're at pools and the lake all summer, so it's a change of pace, nice to get out and let them you know, play in the creeks and go in the cave and just have a good day, going to the mouth and watching the waterfall come out. So we have a great time here.
The upper Blanchard Springs swimming hole is located just a short distance up the road off to your right near a campground area. If you happen to come here during the week when most of the campsites are empty, you'll most likely have the entire swimming hole to yourself.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. Like I'm from Oklahoma, so our water's all muddy and dense. And this water you can see through. You can see the fishes swimming in it. It's pretty amazing. I'm too scared to jump off the cliff or anything, but as far as just swimming in the water, it's like, I'm not worried about chlorine getting in my eyes. It's really neat. You can just swim underwater and open them and see the fish.
Yep, pretty deep. It's gotta be at least 8 or 9 feet.
So you see now why you can't come here just once.
Yeah, I would definitely hike here or camp here again. It's a really good spot. It's only $10 a night, so you really can't beat it. I mean, that's a pretty good deal. If you camp in Colorado, it's $18 a night, and you have to pay for quarters to put in the shower. And here, the showers are free. You just have to push a button every 4 seconds.
It resembles a storybook scene straight out of the pages of The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. A scene that you might see in an old painting of America gone by. There's just something to be said about an old steel bridge, a river, and the people who have been drawn to a setting like this from one generation to the next for well over 100 years.
Well, this is a really great swimming hole on the big Mulberry River. It's one of the better ones around, I think, because it's easy to get to, and this old bridge is really cool. When I was a kid, my grandpa brought me down here the first time in the early 70s, and we'd come down here and go fishing. Back then, the deck of the bridge was made out of wood, and you'd drive over it on wooden treads, and some of the boards were broken on the bridge, and you could see the water down between. It was kind of scary. My grandma didn't like driving over the bridge. She didn't like it at all. It kind of made me nervous too, but you know, just being a kid like that. But I guess they replaced the deck on it in the 80s, and now it's got a metal deck with asphalt, and it's got a lot of history to it. It's been nearly washed away a couple times. I just always enjoyed it. You know, this is the last silver bridge in the area down here. There used to be a couple other ones, one in Rudy and one in Mountainburg that people used to go to. Everybody'd say, we're gonna go down to Silver Bridge, and you'd say, well, which one? Well, this is about the only one left now, so Mulberry Silver Bridge is it. I was kind of hoping they'd paint it again. They used to keep it painted real bright silver all the time, and in the recent years they hadn't painted it, so it's kind of looking weathered and looking its age. I've been bringing my kids down here to go swim too, so they've been coming their whole lives, and my mom and all of our family's been down here since before I was born, so everybody around here likes this place, and it's a real good deep place you can jump in and dive, and got shallow area for the kids. It's real popular.
Got everything.
It's got everything.
Lived here all my life near Mulberry, and I've always crossed the bridge, you know, a bunch of times, and never thought too much of it as a kid, just passing from one end to the other of it. But now that I'm older and I like to take photographs of things, I started paying more attention to the bridge probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and started coming down to take photographs of it. And started looking into the bridge itself and realized that it had a lot of history with it, along with the fact that it's one of the last few bridges in the state that's a 3-span like Silver Bridge here that's still in existence. And so I started spending time here trying to take photographs of it and get it from different seasons. I've taken photos of it at night and during the day, and just kind of started bringing my friends down here, and a lot of them, like Jay, my friend that's here with me today, he's always came here, and we just enjoy the spot. It's real close to town. You can be here within 5-10 minutes from Alma and Mulberry area, and it's a good spot to come. It's pretty clean. We've had to pick up a little bit of the trash that's left behind from others throughout the years, but we're trying to stay on top of that a little bit more, make it a little bit better place to come and things like that. To me, these bridges like this, they just have a lot more character than a lot of the bridges that they're putting in nowadays. And I'm afraid that, you know, because it's got quite a bit of age on it. The bridge was built in 1912. So with that being said, you know, it's getting up there in its years. And so I hope that they can see fit to keep restoring it so it'll stay like it is and keep the scene that you see behind you.
For a complete summary list of all the swimming holes featured in this program, plus other information, go to my blog at myarkansaspbs.org.
Welcome back to the Arkansas PBS studios. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Arkansas swimming holes as much as we have. In fact, we were joking during that last segment that we were thinking maybe you might come back to an empty studio because Chuck and Julie and I decided to go check out one of the swimming holes. But we're here. We want to thank you for joining us. We have some wonderful thank you gifts around this program. So if you can do a gift of $60 or do a sustaining gift of $5 a month ongoing, we have the DVD of the program, the Arkansas Swimming Holes, available to give to you as a thank you gift. How about bump up that sustainer gift to $6 a month or a one-time gift of $72, and we have the Exploring Arkansas cooling towel. And let me tell you, these cooling towels are worth it. They're wonderful if you're outside, whether you're mowing or you're running or you're just being out and about. Helps you stay cool really well. Bump that up again, $1 to $7 a month as a sustainer, or $84 as a one-time gift. And we have the Exploring Arkansas cap that's hand autographed by Chuck so that you can have that proudly and wear it proudly. Next, we have the Arkansas State books. It's a state parks book. It is absolutely beautiful, wonderful photography, a great conversation about the state parks. That's available for your gift of $180 or being a sustainer at $15 a month ongoing. Then if you can move it up even a little bit more, how about $252 or being a sustainer at $21 a month? And we have the 8 DVD set of Exploring Arkansas. Some of the best of the different episodes that Chuck has put together, whether it's about the buffalo, whether it's about our national parks, whether it's about wildlife refuges. It's all there for you to enjoy with the 7 DVD set. If you can do a gift of $42 a month ongoing or a one-time gift of $504, we can send all of that to you just as our way of saying thank you. And with every single one of those gifts, we'll wind up sending you a guidebook, which is basically a map of how you can get to all 12 of those swimming holes that Chuck talks about in the program. So your choice. Remember, those dollars help support programs like Exploring Arkansas and others that you like. Also, at any of those gift levels, you'll also have access to Arkansas PBS Passport, which provides you over 1,000 hours of programming, lots of travel shows, and over 400 locally produced episodes of programs. So it's a wonderful benefit that we love to give to you. It's the way you can see TV on your time, on whatever device. So give us a call, and we're going to go and have a little more conversation with Julie and Chuck.
So quite a few of the swimming holes seem to be located in the National Forest recreation areas. Right. So which ones do you particularly like?
Well, especially, of course, the ones that have a swimming hole with them, which most of them do. Now, the thing is with these national forest recreation areas, if you have a state map, they have an icon. Each of them, it's a red teepee with a circle around it. And if you look at the legend at the bottom of the map, that stands for each one of those points on the map. There's a national forest campsite there. So, and most of them have a really nice swimming hole. So, if you look at a state map, I mean, there's bukus of them all over the place. People ask me, well, where's a good place to go camping? Where's a good place to go swimming that, you know, that's not too crowded? These national forest campsites and swimming areas are the best. If you want to, you know, have enough elbow room with the family. And some of them, you know, are in the Ouachita Mountains, a lot of them in the Ozark Mountains. They're kind of mostly in the mountainous regions. The thing about them, see, they go back to the CCC days, the Civilian Conservation Corps, back in the 1930s. When all they were being developed, these national forest places, and I mean they were geniuses in finding these pristine places to make a recreation area out of. So the history of them actually goes back to the 1930s, and that's about the time when Pettigene, you know, became our flagship state park, was back at that time as well. So they are just a gem, a hidden gem.
Well, that's actually great. You know, when you're trying to decide where to camp, where to go visit, it kind of makes sense to say, is there someplace we can swim to, especially if it's in the hot summertime. So
look
that's
for
great.
that little teepee. Yeah. It's a red teepee with a circle around it. And it'll say, you know, Jack Creek or Long Pool or Bark Shed, or, you know, it's
awesome.
Yeah.
So are there any other places that you love to go that aren't necessarily in the program today?
My all-time favorite, and you know, you talk about like a Jack Creek recreation area, the Acapulco type cliff diving that the kids like to do. And of course, be safe now, like we talked about. Make sure the water's above your head and your diving feet first. But the Greers Ferry Lake, there's an area there at Dam Site Park where, I mean, in the summertime, you have to wait your turn to jump off.
Wow, okay, so it's popular, okay,
yeah.
All right.
So it's oh man, people love it there, young and old. And, you know, we haven't talked too much about the Delta area. Well, Bayou Bartholomew, which runs, because we did a documentary on it way back when. It goes all the way from Pine Bluff down into Louisiana. Fantastic swimming hole. There's deep pools along the bayou. There are fantastic swimming holes, and you know, we're talking about the, you know, back in the day. That's where they have a lot of baptismals, you know, along the bayou there.
Yeah.
At those swimming areas.
Oh, fantastic! So lots to choose from for sure. So thank you for that. We're going to go back to Karen now. Who's going to tell us about some great thank you gifts.
Well, you're going to see behind me on the screen all of the different thank you gifts that we are offering around Exploring Arkansas. But one of the things I want to spend a little more time with is about Arkansas PBS Passport, and the fact that any of these thank you gift levels, you'll wind up being able to access Passport, which is just a great benefit that, you know, you can wind up seeing over 1,000 hours of programming. And if you're into travel and if you like the locally produced programs that we do here at Arkansas PBS, they're on Passport. If you like to explore and see other things on there, there's a wealth of mysteries and history and nature and Nova. All of those are on there. You can go back and see different episodes. Sometimes when something new comes to broadcast on Arkansas PBS, sometimes that new thing will also drop to Passport that same night. 1-800-662-2386. Please make your gift.
So any parting words, Chuck? What do you advise?
My favorite, I know you're going to ask me this, you know, what my favorite is, and it's got to be Falling Waterfalls.
Okay.
I mean, with the waterfall, with the rope swing, it is the dream swimming hole.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to dive into?
Okay, so that one, because I think you're absolutely right. If there's a cliff and there is a rope swing, then it's like the best one. Plus, it's got a fun name, Falling.
Yeah. Falling Waterfalls.
So, you know, makes a whole ton of sense. You know, I love the Blanchard Springs area and Sillamore and all up there, but I think any of these would be good this summer with the heat that we have and the humidity. So I'm making my list of where I want to go, and maybe I'll see you there.
And that guide booklet with the map, because there's a description for each of the 12 locations that we talked about. So I want to thank, we're about out of time, I want to thank the viewers. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your support, all your help throughout all these years. And we invite you to stay tuned in the 5 months ahead of ourselves, because we're going to take Exploring Arkansas to a new and higher level. We'll see you then.